person to my left doesn't look the same. Say 14 is here again, Vegas.
Not 14. Yeah. Oh, I'm sorry. Other side. Yes, 14 is Diggs. The D-A-Y-G-S.
I'm looking at pages.
Broadcast starts in 3 minutes. Then I'll start with the open. After their Halloween shootout thriller. Standing in their way, the Bulls of USF, your regular season champions, just one loss in all of conference play, and of course our host this week in Tampa. So 4 seed and top seed collide. So we take a look at the bracket. Standing in their way ultimately on that final day will be the 2 seed Memphis, as Levasseur provides the late game winner over UCF, and the Tigers are in their first ever championship final. Lincoln Rose, Matt Stephenson with you, and Matt, after a great one, it'll be hard to top, but ECU and USF about to get underway finally with their semifinal, rain or shine.
Well, it was a wonderful first semifinal that we witnessed, and a really good win from Memphis, and I think this one will be one that will match that. It's going to be a great job for ECU, or a difficult job for ECU tonight to be able to beat the home team. But if they're able to relax and play something that they didn't do in the first 45 minutes in the first round, they will be able to come out and really put some pressure on the Bulls. But they've also got to make sure that they deny time to Viens. If she's given the time to play with the ball, she will pick ECU apart.
Yeah, easier said than done for the Bulls. How do they continue to defend their home pitch where they have not lost to a team in the American since 2016?
Well, it's so easy just to sit back and watch Viens play. She's such a wonderful player that you have to make sure that you support her, get in the attacking third, make sure that you get on any rebounds that may come your way, or find a way to get on in the end of passes that Viens will pick out if she recognizes she's being double teamed. The other thing is, impose your will. Don't allow ECU any time on the ball. Don't allow ECU into the game. Impose your style of play on the match.
Well, of course, USF, one of the top offenses in all the nation, standing in their way tonight on their own pitch. Melanie Stiles came through with a big stop in the shootout round to shut down SMU and give the Pirates a chance.
Stiles has had a wonderful season. She's a brilliant goalkeeper. Makes the big saves when she has to. Is great with her feet. Distributes the ball really well. Is an emotional leader for her team, and has got a lot of confidence, and well, she might after making stops like that on Wednesday.
Yeah, denying Valdez back on Wednesday. Meanwhile, for the Bulls, hard to deny the career and just a junior at that has been had by Evelyn Viens.
Just a fantastic player. She's the total package: size, strength, speed, vision, technical ability. She also is very competitive. I think back to last year's tournament when she'd missed the goal. She got really frustrated, angry even. Got the ball back and put it into the back of the net herself because she was so frustrated with what went on the play before.
Her 18th goal on this year alone gave them the championship for the regular season at the expense of UCF last week. They make their debut as the #1 seed when we come back for the semifinal against ECU.
In just 5 seasons, storied programs have united as a Power 6 conference. We've watched record breakers, All-Americans, and victories that proved we are not only equal to the best, but often better. Can you imagine what's ahead for this Power 6 conference? We can, because the best way to predict the future is to create the future. The American, powered by determination.
Evelyn Viens, the woman of the hour again in their last regular season matchup. No surprise, the championship clincher came off her left foot. Back in that rivalry matchup, the war on I-4 against UCF. Well, tonight it's against ECU, a team that was able to survive a shootout thanks in part to the performance of that woman in frame. as Melody Stiles really a leader back there on that back row. The defensive mentality and attitude for ECU.
A wonderful goalkeeper, really stepped up to the plate big time and is going to be an important factor in this match tonight. Obviously, ECU will be hoping that she won't see a lot of action, but with the offensive firepower of USF, I'm sure she will.
You saw the number there, September of 2016, the last time that USF lost here in Tampa to an American program. They're obviously perfect here at home this year. They go 8-1 in conference. That lone loss for USF was at Temple in Philadelphia. They will not have a chance to avenge that loss. They will, however, look for an early advantage. Far post, and we're talking about 3 inches wide. Oh, she prefers the left foot. That time, the right foot almost got the job done.
Well, it's what she provides. Strength, character, and imagination in around the box. And you give her an inch, she'll try and take a mile. Sanders wasn't a million miles away, and neither was Viens on the effort with the right peg.
Evelyn Viens, already the career record holder in goals, just a junior for USF. Single season mark already has been shattered with her 18 goals this year. She had tied the previous mark as a freshman at 16. What a career, and she still has another year plus remaining. That plus being this year in pursuit of a sweep of the titles, and they hope a deep run in the NCAA tournament.
I was wondering where Sanford would play this evening for ECU, and she's starting in the holding midfield role that she was employed in on Wednesday. In the second half, she went into the back line for ECU. I was wondering whether she would be a center back tonight for the Pirates or not, with Viens in the lineup of the opposition.
Pirates just continue to matriculate now into the offensive third. Another throw here for Hilton Puleo. She had herself a night against SMU back on Wednesday as the Pirates played the late evening match. You see the rain still coming down. A storm came through just prior to our first semifinal. It has us about a 45-minute delay overall on the schedule for the start of this second match. Lincoln Rose, Matt Stubbington with you here on the American Digital Network. Every now and then we'll have a chance to hear from Haley Outen, including interviews with the winning team. Memphis can now sit back and enjoy this one, waiting to find out who stands in the Tigers' way, whether it be the Bulls or the Pirates.
Whomever faces the Tigers on Sunday will have their hands full. It was a Memphis team that had a game plan to play swarming defense all over UCF and employed that game plan very effectively. The Knights not having any time on the ball, and in the end conceding the lone goal that won the match for Memphis late on.
Sydney Martinez, this freshman, is perhaps the forgotten goalkeeper among the 4 that we are scheduled to see today. We already saw Stiles and her showing on Wednesday, but Martinez has quietly led this back line. Viens, hard to deny, looking to share, and perhaps a tad too unselfish that time.
Great understanding from Viens, knowing that she's garnering the attention. The double team coming. If you're doubled up, there should be somebody open. The teammate was to her left, almost found.
Evelyn trying to win a corner, and she will, in fact, be awarded the opportunity. So Viens creates this set-piece chance for USF early on. This is after moments ago, denied by about 3 inches, a go-ahead goal. The Pirates not in the clear. From the wing. And we will do it again from the right corner.
I don't really understand the runs from the corner kick from USF. Hilton Pelaez steps out and wins, or challenges, flicks it out for another corner. It needs to be a little bit more industry on the runs from the 2 players playing the short corner.
Hochstadter continues to handle these set pieces. About 8 yards in front of the frame. Viens, among two Pirates, frees herself up and almost finds an open bull, but Styles with a brilliant kick stop.
Well, Styles won't get the credit for a save on this one because it was being played across the box from Viens, but that was absolutely no doubt that was a very important save from the goalkeeper. Shortly after, a very important defensive header from number 18, Carson Parker.
Viens with a beautiful pass, only surpassed by the response from Styles. From 20. And Styles will stare that one down into her mitts.
Again, Viens just being in the area allows other players to be open for USF. It was a good right-footed shot, accurate and on target, but too easy for Styles.
Kitching. Step to her left. Still can't shake free. Instead, a 19-yard butte. Deflected one. Viens trying to strike again. Instead, it's Styles with the save, but a corner coming up.
Kitching with a head of steam, getting into the top of the attacking third, challenging the top of the box. The back four just dropping off, inviting the shot. Kitchens realizes she's not going to have a very good opportunity for the strike. And look at the adjustment by the goalkeeper to her left to make that save.
Already 3 saves required of Styles here in the opening 6.5 minutes. And the Bulls not going away. They'll lob another one in. Back post, ricochets around. Bulls have their lead. It spills loose from Styles, and USF puts it away.
It was 31.
Aubrey McGrath embraced from her teammates. Bulls just continued the onslaught.
We knew it was going to be a tough start for the Pirates. And USF have not allowed ECU to rest at all. The ball coming in off the short corner, delivered to the back post. Served back across on the header. It was a wonderful header. This one here coming across. 2 players for USF. And then just crashing the net. McGrath there did her job. And that is an easy finish for the Bulls.
For the junior McGrath, her 7th goal this year. And for the second time in 3 days, the Pirates trail after conceding an opening half goal. Now, they found the equalizer in the second half against SMU. But I don't think these Bulls will be content with just 1 goal. Mentioned already 6 shots early on. 4 on frame from the Bulls. They go 13 wins and 2 losses this year. Just one of those losses in conference. The other one at Auburn, the SEC foe. Diggs looking for the equalizer. Lays it off. And a subsequent foul will deny an opportunity for Courtney Cash to lock and load.
Great effort there going forwards. Diggs getting into the attacking third, putting pressure on. What do you expect from the Pirates? Once they relaxed, they had a never say die attitude on Wednesday. They got back into the game, really were on the front foot for the latter part of the first half, all of the second, and the majority of the overtime period, but couldn't find the game winner.
Hilton Pelea has it taken away. And this will find its way all the way back to young Sydney Martinez, who already has a lead to work with, the freshman. If she can find a clean sheet tonight, her Bulls will be playing for the championship here at home on Sunday.
Goalkeeper just has to make better decisions than that on the distribution, trying to find Wagner on this near sideline. A little bit too ambitious with the crossfield pass was the keeper.
Martinez so reliable back there in this her first year of collegiate soccer, a two-time goalkeeper of the week here in the American. In their meeting with Memphis, in Memphis, she was peppered with 10 shots on frame, and she had an answer for all 10 of them. They would love to meet the Tigers again, but first, tonight's test, the Pirates. Styles out for a stroll. Kitching. And that is how you get every fan here in Tampa out of their seat in anticipation. A big sigh of relief for Styles.
I like Kitching's presence. Has the ability to stay on the flank or come inside. Put the challenge on.
Viens was staying close enough to whisper to Styles when the next shot was coming. Goal from Aubrey McGrath has USF out ahead early. After a first-round bye back on Wednesday, they sat back and watched ECU and SMU play 110 minutes, a 1-1 draw that would go to a shootout. Play from Styles, coming up with a rare stop for a keeper, would be the difference to punch the Pirates' ticket into the semifinals. Remember, this is an ECU team that had won 3 straight coming into the tournament. Would advance on that draw the other night. But they are rolling. Their highest seeding in program history. And not content with just a semifinal berth. Don't tell USF that their top 25 RPI is going to be good enough. They don't need to win on Sunday. They want a sweep of these trophies. There is a threat that they were going to have to split the regular season 3 ways had their senior night not gone their way, had Viens not found the game winner against UCF. Instead, they claim it outright. McGrath. And Viens, of course, her first, second, and third option. Touch along that back row from Morgan Dewey. Now the outside back, but it's back over to the Bulls. McGrath into some space. Sabrina Wagner push forward from that back line. The Pirates have held for now.
Both teams wanting to knock the ball long early and often. I'd like to see the Bulls try and possess the ball a little bit through the midfield to build forward. If ECU are defending deeper, those long balls forwards for Viens to run onto only work if ECU are further up the pitch. You've got to draw the Pirates out defensively a little bit.
Oh, battle one-on-one out on the wing. And this will be a corner kick. And Viens shows so little emotion throughout much of a match. Just really internal motivation, fighting for every ball.
It's just a great example for any young player to watch, especially as a forward. She never gives up. She's always playing both sides of the ball, never lets the chin drop. Often you'll see a young player, they have a misplay and the chin goes down and they mope around a little bit. Something that you don't see from Viens. Puts the head down and works harder.
Looking for insurance here. And Styles will secure this one.
Yeah, hugging that ball there. A little unsure of her handling, but very relieved that that was being held to her mid-drift at the second time of asking. Good concentration from the goalkeeper at the near post.
We talk about USF's success here in Tampa at home at Corbett Stadium. Dating back to 2015, their last 30 matches, 24 wins, 3 draws, just 3 losses. No interest in suffering one this week.
You hear all the time about home field advantage. The local fans here in Tampa are very, very knowledgeable about the game of soccer. It has a long and rich history.
USF fans have already seen a win today on this field. They'll keep Viens off the ball. They'll play on. The men played at noon with a win 2-0 over Memphis. The first of 3 matches in total here on this pitch, which is holding up nicely after the storm. And Viens being denied by Kim Sanford on that back line, the sophomore for ECU.
Well, Viens looking at the referee, wondering what the call was going to be, and she had a case for a back pass. It was Sanford that put the ball towards the goalkeeper.
You know, I don't think she has a penalty all year in terms of one that she has taken all those 18 goals through the run of play. He did not account for the lone goal so far tonight. He was just as happy as the rest of her teammates to see Aubrey McGrath find her 7th on the year. As you see, Pelletier Laroche, sophomore from Quebec, another talented Canadian on this roster as well. We already know there's going to be over a dozen Canadians in that championship match just with Memphis alone. Have to imagine more than a handful have crossed paths with Evelyn throughout their youth.
Be happy to do so again because Memphis are in the final. Well, they may prefer that she doesn't make it because ECU might be a slightly easier challenge. Either way, it'll be a really good matchup because Memphis, again, they played a really good game against the Knights today.
Yeah, and that's not to knock ECU, but it would be their 3rd match in 5 days, which is just not something you experience at any point in the regular season, let alone in the NCAA tournament. Pirates looking for that equalizer. It's the right-footed tap from Diggs, but ultimately, thanks to the support from that back line, Martinez is on it. And our first look today, Denise Schulte-Brown, she had the chance to come out and scout that first matchup. Husband-wife duo with her husband Chris Brown to lead this program. And you just continue to see this program making strides each and every year now in her 12th campaign at the helm of the Bulls. And we talk about that home field advantage, but this year her Bulls now have outscored the opponent 47-11.
I see so many coaches in the women's game with longevity. It's because they do a great job rebuilding every year and recruiting talented players and knowing what to do with those players once they get them at the school, how to work with them. On the other sideline is a new coach.
Still 11 years short of his 12th campaign at the helm of ECU. In his first year, what a mark Jason Hamilton has already made. Last year, associate head coach at Mississippi State. Before that, head coach at Troy. But it's not just a new staff, 16 newcomers, including 6 transfers. And it took minimal time to gel during the course of this season. But they have found their best run now here to close out the year.
I think if you just look at what ECU has done throughout the closing part of the season, Coach Hamilton, obviously with 16 newcomers, he knows how to get good players onto his campus. He also knows what to do with them as well once they get there because he's coached a really good team. Interesting listening to him during the game on Wednesday of how he wanted his team to relax and how he wanted them to play. He has a lot of confidence in his Pirates and their ability to get the job done. He just wanted them to essentially, as he said, relax. You've played the game for 20 games this season. This is the 21st. You know what you're doing. And in the second half, they came out and played a really good match.
Viens will have it poked away. ECU and Memphis are at the same hotel this week. And, well, ECU wouldn't mind another morning of a long breakfast buffet line. Bulls, of course, had the luxury of sleeping in their own beds. This is just their first match of the week, thanks to that first-round bye. Pirates still looking for that answer after the advantage given by Aubrey McGrath's goal. In the midst of the 20th minute here in our second semifinal, winner gets Memphis on Sunday. Blango. It'll be USF for a toss. Bulls and ECU collided here in Tampa. It was a 4-0 decision for the Bulls. That was the most goals given up this year by ECU. It was 4 of the 21 goals they've now conceded on the year.
Pelletier, LaRoche there as she's receiving the ball. Quick look over her right shoulder. Where's the pressure coming from? Where do I need to serve the ball? Collects it. First touch opens her shoulders up, and then she's able to release the ball to the right side, down the right fullback, Wagner.
Wagner, your sophomore out of Newport Richey, Florida, making her 16th appearance on the year. And a foul will keep it with the Pirates. ECU closed out the regular season after that 4-0 blanking by USF with wins against Temple, Cincinnati, and UConn. And of course, getting past SMU on Wednesday. That was thanks in part to the equalizer from Erin Michelson. Her first goal on the year for the sophomore. Of course, the defender does not get a lot of looks, and with her height is not really typically a set piece feature product. And a diving stop punched out wide. Martinez will keep the goal advantage for now.
The shot seemed to come out of nothing. Grace Duran with the effort, left-footed, floating it into that back post. The goalkeeper had to retreat. Good footwork from Martinez, tipping that one around the upright.
She is half the battle just trying to maintain her footing in that box. Again, this is our third match of the day on this field. Top of the 6, Martinez off her line. Bulls will buy her time. And it's another corner kick.
The goalkeeper gambled at the near post, got nowhere near the ball, just flapped at it. ECU unlucky it didn't fall kindly for the Pirates. Able to keep it alive, win another corner kick. Can be the set pieces that make the difference in matches like this in the playoffs.
Grace Duran, a couple of assists this year for the redshirt freshman. Bulls will get the first head on it, 7 yards in front of Martinez.
No nonsense defense there, good clearing header, and then a thumping clearance up the field. ECU putting the ball forwards, Lincoln trying to get Steph turned. If they're not able to do that, try and win the second ball from the clearances from the back line.
Well, Hilton Palea with the long run, her problem was 3 different Bulls took their turn running alongside her. Lethen will have the toss, junior from Bradenton. Really someone I think the Browns look at as being among the most improved this year. Not a flashy defender, but puts in the work, executes intelligently on game days like today.
Important to have players like that on your squad.
Cash. Off the mark, Martinez will keep it in play.
Certainly every coach wants the diamond, such as Viens, but you need those players in support of players like Viens. Lethen stepping up to the plate, improving year on year, doing all the hard work. The ball won't get to Viens unless there are players working hard for her. And Blethen is an example of that type of player, blue collar.
That time Viens came back into the midfield for the ball. Ball still traveling well on the damp surface. Deluge of rain, wind, lightning, all prior to the first semifinal. Took out the visitors' dressing room, which had been a sturdy tent prior.
Now it's just a metal frame across the way.
Still in the area. Pirates looking to level here. A step closer. And the left-footed delivery just couldn't find the angle. All that work put in by Courtney Cash, second team all-conference this year, the senior, a captain for the Pirates, looking for her 6th goal.
It was too easy for Cash to get past the outside fullback, bringing the ball back to the left leg. She may have been a little undecided there. Do I want to shoot? Do I want to cross? And in the end, neither really happened. Wasn't able to connect with a teammate and wasn't able to threaten Martinez's net.
Cash has been so consistent throughout her career, just the 4th Pirate to have 40 or more career points. 3rd straight season with at least 10. Viens looking up ahead at her options. That includes number 14 herself. Every Pirate on her heels. Hilton Pelea will try to shut it down. There'll be a corner kick here for USF. No, simply a goal kick. Jada Hilton Pelea, second team all-conference on that back line out of Brampton, Ontario. A 2-time Defensive Player of the Week this year. Shined against SMU back on Wednesday. That included making her penalty in the shootout in the first round.
Important player tonight. The outside backs for ECU have to find the time to go forwards. Join the attack, try and overload the Bulls back line, stretch USF out so there is some space in and around the box for the players like Cashlyn Copley and Courtney Cash when she's on the pitch.
Dewey with the toss and the outside back. Spent her freshman year as a midfielder at Louisville. This year moving to that back line, her first campaign with the Pirates.
And Dennis a little lucky to get away with a high arm.
Evelyn Viens leading the nation's top offense. Already a goal tonight, courtesy of Aubrey McGrath. It was from point blank on a rebound. And this will remain with the Bulls for a throw, but first, the Bulls with a personnel change. Off the bench will be Emma Davies, the freshman out of Ontario.
Strong tackle from Hilton Pelea, but when you go to ground, you have to make sure you come away with the ball.
Yeah, flag up.
A wasted opportunity through that whole sequence for USF. They did have the chance to serve the ball in and around the penalty spot for the shot. In the end, too many touches inside the penalty area allowed ECU to force the issue outside. They conceded the throw-in, but in the end, the home team weren't able to do anything with it.
Bulls were relentless at the start of this half. Pirates have at least been able to put a little gap in time between the Bulls' visits these days to the box of Melanie Stiles back there. Defenders love to show off their moves. Kitching to that back row with Bernie. Bulls were content with 1 goal against UCF. You have a feeling that won't be the case here tonight. Martinez has come up with the one save that she has had to find an answer for on an evening where USF has outshot ECU 8-3.
Most of those shots came early in this first half. ECU have played themselves back into the game. Tested the goalkeeper. Keep the pressure up, though. And I think USF will need to find another goal if they're going to come out on the right side of the score ledger this evening.
Well, Copley is going to come off. He's had some of the more recent game winners, Cincinnati, UConn for ECU. Drajovic in her place. Comes in off the bench now. And Martinez, as you see, rain still coming down.
Difficult conditions. Not unenjoyable, though, as a player. When you're on the bench, it gets a little bit unpleasant, but when you're out running around, it's not a torrential downpour.
On comes Leah Furlan. Sophomore from Jacksonville with her 15th appearance on the year. A couple of goals, 3 assists off the bench. And she will come on for Evelyn Viens. So out comes your Offensive Player of the Year. And her 6 braces on the year. Right now the difference, courtesy of Aubrey McGrath's goal. And a foul against the Bulls, going to give the Pirates a look from inside 25 yards.
Wagner frustrated as she tangles legs. Watching Viens coming over to the bench, speaking to her head coach, indicating what she thinks needs to happen up front, and high fives as she goes down to take her place alongside the rest of the team on the sideline. This is a great chance for the ECU in this match to threaten Martinez's goal once more.
Carson Parker just stepping out of your screen. Morgan Dewey there as well. A pair of defenders. Martinez directing traffic, keeping the Bulls organized. Off the base of the wall, denying Parker's first look. And a nice job, simply a goal kick as the Bulls quickly end the threat from ECU.
Parker just snatching the shot there. Needs to be just a little bit more composed. Trying to put too much pressure, too much pace on the ball. From that far out with a little bit of placement, it would have challenged the goalkeeper.
Pirates still looking to level this one before heading to the locker room. Tracked down by Grace Duran. I'll have to settle for a throw. Lincoln Rose, Matt Stubbington with you, and Matt will be on our best behavior as head coach Jason Hamilton's mom, Julia, tuning in, along with the countless others, cheering on the Pirates and the Bulls. And there is one of your heroes from Wednesday night. That is when Aaron Michelson Now the second half goal, the sophomore from right here in Florida. Her first score on the year, extended play into overtime, and gave the Pirates a chance to be playing here in the semifinals.
It was a quite brilliant strike off of the corner kick. The first touch with the right foot to control the ball was sublime. And then the thumping left-footed shot. And when we're looking at the low camera angle, how it actually went in, I don't know, because she wasn't that far out, but somehow it went with power overheads and hit the underside of the crossbar before disappearing into the back of the net. It was a wonderful strike from Michelson.
I have to imagine she was still smiling yesterday on the day off. Looking for a miscue on the back line from USF. The Pirates unable to follow it up. It'll simply be a throw. Looking there at Brianna Blethen. Throw will come from Hilton Pelea. She'll send one in deeper. Martinez 7 yards off her line. Makes the squeeze. Again, Sydney Martinez, just a freshman. Been so reliable this year. Bulls looking to fill that void at goalkeeper. Had a couple of options. Neither of whom with much in terms of returning minutes. Obviously that includes the freshman. Kitching. Back to Kitching. On the wing. With no Viens to play with. A couple of strikes. Pelea with the most recent stop after Stiles came through with the save.
When Kitching passed this ball to the flank, I thought this opportunity had gone begging for USF. But the give and go worked. Kitching gets into the box, plays the ball across. I'm not sure who it was for USF who had the shot. What I am sure of is that Stiles had a wonderful kick save.
We'll get another look before this corner. Now the first shot stopped from Leah Furlan. And then quickly at point blank, Davies denied. Pirates not in the clear. Corner kick here for USF.
Inez just came all the way over to speak to Coach Schulte Brown.
Pirates with the first touch, top of the sixth. And a screamer into the area. It'll never reach Stiles. Again, right now, Evelyn Viens on the bench for the rest of this opening half. Denise Schulte Brown, just the second ever head coach here at USF, a program started back in '95. He's spent a pretty good amount of time on site here during that first semifinal, taking in the 1-0 meeting between Memphis and UCF, with Memphis advancing. Olivia Cook comes on, as the Canadians will add another participant out there on the pitch. Kitching will come off. Lone representative of England. On the pitch, at least.
Doesn't feel like there's room for anybody else. It's like Canada has moved south. In Memphis and USF, it's been pretty crazy as far as the representatives from up north.
All part of Trudeau's plan.
And if they can play soccer like all of these young ladies, why not?
Of course, they hosted that last World Cup. Trying to slip one in, as all of Viens' understudies ultimately triggering the offside flag.
Time the pass a little bit better. in conjunction with the run.
Melanie Stiles second in this league with her 6 shutouts this year, only behind Memphis's keeper. That goal against SMU that she conceded was the first goal allowed since the October 7th meeting against these Bulls. Good old American right there in Furlan from right here in Florida. Obviously, USF has the luxury, in addition to Canada, of some pretty good talent right here in their own backyard.
Youth soccer in Florida is very talented and very deep. All of the Florida schools are very lucky to get good quality players from within the state.
Oxdotter's ball still with the Bulls. For a moment, they're lingering at the top of the 18. Oxdotter, who led the conference this year in assists per game, with her 7 setup passes. Wondering why we're not talking more about Iceland. Pirates still trail by just 1. The Bulls have not been able to produce that insurance goal. There will be some injury concern back up in midfield here, as Martinez is ready to concede this ball to help out a teammate. Inside the final 5 minutes.
Not sure who it is, but the blue boots may indicate it's Pelletier LaRoche.
They'll stop this clock and put 4:20 back on it. And that is, in fact, Pelletier LaRoche, sophomore from Quebec. Chris Brown will motion to Kylie Burrows that she'll come on.
Substitution. Enter ECU, number 24.
Burrows, the third-year sophomore from here in Florida, makes her 15th appearance on the year. And you wish all the best to that young lady, as Fanny will be helped off. And that foot, I don't know if it was stepped on or not, but just got stuck in the turf.
Seem to be moving too badly. Putting a whole lot of weight on that left side, though.
That ankle starting to roll a little bit.
Good to see her up and moving. Supported by the athletic training staff of USF.
Mentioned the Bulls with a top 25 RPI coming into this week, while ECU sitting at 71. Obviously, the Pirates are going to need to secure likely that automatic bid on Sunday to feel good about their chances of continuing their season beyond Tampa.
Number of teams in the conference on the cusp of making it to the NCAA. Hoping that results in other conference tournaments go with serve and allows some more at-large bids. No upsets and taking at-large bids away from other teams that may otherwise deserve to be there.
Among USF's wins this year, they beat Baylor, a team that easily captured the Big 12 regular season title this year. Baylor's still alive over in Kansas City in that championship. But USF, this success is not simply within the American. Games like that help strengthen that RPI. From 20, Stiles could not influence, didn't need to.
The great thing about USF is that they have more than one way to skin the cat and not reticent of shooting from the outside. Bender, Sanford left in the dust. Right-footed shot just drifting over the crossbar from Wagner.
3 minutes remaining. here in this first half. Two and a half to play. Michelson. And ECU put together a threat here. Just one shot on frame here in this first half, compared to 6 from the Bulls, one of which found its way across the goal line.
Too many touches on the back line for me from USF. Allowed ECU to put some pressure on the defenders, but the rest of the team didn't get good enough shape to win the long clearance forwards.
In this final push, all with Evelyn Viens resting on the bench, most dangerous player in the American and arguably in the country. Flag stays down. Ball sent into the near post. Styles opted to play it, and it's going to concede a corner kick here for USF inside the final 70 seconds.
Uncharacteristic mistake from the goalkeeper. Lack of awareness of where her near post was. Tips that one out without need and concedes the set piece.
One of the best in the business, Andrea Hochstadter. Off her right foot. Bulls get the first head on it, but a foul had already been called. As time will just continue to tick down, we get closer and closer to the half here in Tampa. Well, the Bulls this first half outshoot ECU 13-4. No surprise, they have outshot their opponents this year 265 to 122.
That's a pretty healthy advantage. And you see why, with so many offensive weapons and just the desire to attack just about every time they get the ball.
Final seconds counting down.
7, 6, 5, 4.
Our difference in the opening half, Aubrey McGrath finds a rebound, sends it home, and gives the #1 seed a 1-goal lead on their home pitch after a first-round bond. Denise Schulte-Brown's squad, no sign of rust on a damp evening here in Tampa.
Absolutely no sign of rust. Came out strong, came out quick, put ECU on their heels. It took a while for the Pirates to get into the game, but they closed the half much better than they started. And some positive things to be talked about for the Pirates in the locker room. But they have to fix some things going forwards if they're going to threaten Martinez's goal even more than they have.
The fans are out to watch this one, looking to give the full force of home field advantage to their Bulls. But Melanie Stiles, she saw her Pirates with a second-half comeback against SMU on Wednesday, hoping to have at least one more here tonight against USF. We've reached halftime here on the American Digital Network.
In just 5 seasons, storied programs have united as a Power 6 conference. We've watched record breakers, All-Americans, and victories that proved we are not only equal to the best, but often better. Can you imagine what's ahead for this Power 6 conference? We can, because the best way to predict the future is to create the future. The American, powered by determination.
There's a lot to do out there. You can either talk about it, or you can do something about it. At ECU, we choose to do things. And we can help you do just about anything. Come here to keep hometowns thriving, hearts beating, or make waves across the world. Wherever you're headed, this ship can get you there. With 30,000 of us doing so much, you won't find anyone sitting around. You ready?
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power Six conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Bernie scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Hueso from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health.
And promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle, a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American.
Power for life.
Halftime here in Tampa. Bulls find the lone goal in that opening half. As it was back in the 7th minute, Aubrey McGrath gets the rebound. Blethen factoring in with the assist. Lincoln Rose, Matt Stebbington. Just your thoughts on what we saw briefly on the opening 45.
As USF just came out all guns blazing right from the opening kickoff, put so much pressure on the Pirates for the first 10-15 minutes of that match. Credit to the Pirates, they settled down and started to play with the USF Bulls and found a way to get on the front foot. But the runs have to be better from ECU. The possession has to be a little bit better from ECU as well if they're going to threaten Martinez's net. They came close. They made the goalkeeper make a couple of saves, but they have to have some better, more quality opportunities if they are going to breach the net of the USF team.
Earlier today, Memphis with a 1-0 victory of their own, able to get past UCF. They await the winner of this one on Sunday in the championship final. Halftime continues here on the American Digital Network when we come back.
In just 5 seasons, storied programs have united as a Power Six conference. We've watched record breakers, All-Americans, and victories that proved we are not only equal to the best, but often better. Can you imagine what's ahead for this Power Six conference? We can, because the best way to predict the future is to create the future. The American, powered by determination.
There's a lot to do out there. You can either talk about it, or you can do something about it. At ECU, we choose to do things. And we can help you do just about anything. Come here to keep hometowns thriving, hearts beating, or make waves across the world. Wherever you're headed, this ship can get you there. With 30,000 of us doing so much, you won't find anyone sitting around. You ready?
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power Six conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Cueto from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle,
a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American.
Power for life.
Halftime coverage continues as the Bulls fans had to wait a little bit longer than anticipated. They'll be staying up late cheering on the number 1 seed USF last weekend on senior night, on Alumni Day. Wrapped up the rights to host this week. It's paying off early on. Viens almost found that opening goal in the first 2 minutes.
And you see how good Viens is in and around the box, creating opportunities for herself, making the goalkeeper make stops, just missing the upright as she turns and shoots. That was in the first 20 seconds of the match as USF came out with a whole head of steam. And then this is the goal. It was Blevin on the assist. The goalkeeper Stiles actually got a hand to it, tipped it onto the foot of McGrath. But there was the framing of the goal from USF, just like you're taught as a young player. When the ball's in and around the box, in and around the goal, make sure you frame up. And that was an easy finish for USF for the lead at halftime.
Both teams emerging from the locker rooms, set to go for the second half when we return here on ADN.
In just 5 seasons, storied programs have united as a Power Six conference. We've watched record breakers, All-Americans, and victories that proved we are not only equal to the best, but often better. Can you imagine what's ahead for this Power Six conference? We can, because the best way to predict the future is to create the future. The American, powered by determination.
There's a lot to do out there. You can either talk about it, or you can do something about it. At ECU, we choose to do things. And we can help you do just about anything. Come here to keep hometowns thriving, hearts beating, or make waves across the world. Wherever you're headed, this ship can get you there. With 30,000 of us doing so much, you won't find anyone sitting around. You ready?
More than 7,000 student athletes rising to become champions in 22 different sports at 13 esteemed institutions across 11 states. 360,000 students and 2.6 million alumni rise up in celebration of a Power Six conference known as the American, powered by determination.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year. Cueto from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Power comes in all forms.
Power is a big tackle,
a big save, a clutch hit,
or a game-winning shot.
Power is also standing up for what is right.
There is power in the sportsmanship that is displayed across the American.
Power is respecting opponents,
officials,
student athletes,
coaches, and team representatives.
Power is not tolerating racial or ethnic comments,
profanities, or other improper actions while at the game.
The American.
Power for life.
The American. Power for life.
The American.
Power for life.
Jason Hamilton, in his first year at the helm of these Pirates, inherits a team that last year won just 1 game in conference play. This year, 5 victories in conference, exceeding the expectations when the fellow coaches picked the Pirates to finish 8th and miss out. Instead, heading into their final match, they were already staring at their best seeding ever at number 5. They'd pick up another win in the finale, and they'd climb to the number 4 seed when it's all said and done. They survived the first round, but standing in their way, the team that earned the right to host this regular season, the Bulls of USF. And this weather was not going to keep their fans away.
So many fans come out and watch USF play the game of soccer, both on the men's and women's side. Great atmosphere here in Tampa. A wonderful facility. There's the goal scorer at McGrath. Be hoping that hers is the game winner this evening.
If that's the case, it would be her 4th on the year. It's her 7th goal total this year, pushing her past the 6 goals she had as a sophomore 1 year ago. And, well, a well-rested Evelyn Viens, who sat out nearly the final 10 minutes of that first half. And that's your top scorer with your top assist lady in Hawksdaughter.
A pretty good pairing between the two of them. Hawksdaughter serving a lot of balls that Viens finds the back of the net with. We've seen how dangerous Viens is. Hasn't scored tonight, but right from the opening kickoff, seemed to come out of nothing, that opportunity that drifted just wide of the left-hand upright as we look at the goal.
So USF last year had everything Kat Elliott back in goal. Of course, she graduates. The question who would step in? Would it be a returner with limited minutes or a true freshman? And it's, of course, been Sydney Martinez now looking back with a great freshman campaign. He has a 1-goal lead to defend. Pirates will do everything they can to erase that here in the opening moments of the second half. And the run will wind up in touch from Diggs, back over to USF.
And Coach Hamilton's got to be very happy with the way his team responded, going down a goal as early as they did in this match. A team that is not as resilient could have collapsed in staring uphill at a huge differential as far as the scoreline is concerned, but ECU are well coached. They've stuck to their guns and found their way back into the game as far as finding opportunities in the attacking third. Yeah, they'll be hoping that they can find their way back in the game as far as the scoreline is concerned as well.
Hilton Pelea sits back and waits for the ball to come to her. Hanford. And they'll reset through that back row through Sauls. And again, we look back at that goal and it just misfortune goes off the back of Sauls' head, slightly redirects the ball, and it's hard for Styles to read then. And of course, moments later, the rebound is sent home for your lone goal from McGrath and the Bulls.
It tells you how good a goalkeeper Styles is, though, with that redirection on the cross that came in. Still able to get a hand to it. Fortunately, the deflection went straight to a goal scorer, McGrath. Then Styles has also made a couple of really big saves. One with the feet later on in that first half.
Diggs attempted the turn there. Bulls had numbers to slow her down. As you look at Copley, it'll be a throw here from Jada Hilton Pelea. Second team all conferences here on that back row. Part of this influx from Canada for various rosters in the American. That one will slip all the way through and deliver this corner kick opportunity here for the Pirates.
Looked like there would have been a shooting opportunity here. Durant gets the ball. Maybe she could have pulled it over to her left leg. Tried the in-swinging curler. Chooses to go with the right. Fortunate that the deflection goes out for this corner kick she'll take.
The freshman got the shot. Now she'll try to deliver in the set piece. Martinez a little hobbled, but secures it.
Service was too close to the goalkeeper inside the 6. Very easy there for the goalkeeper, even though she was in a lot of traffic, to corral that ball. I'd like to see that ball delivered along the line of the 6-yard box with the same authority on the speed of the cross.
Well, the Bulls quickly found that first goal, and you thought for sure insurance would follow. Pirates have kept this just a one-goal match. Can they hold the Bulls off long enough to ultimately find their opportunity? A foul by USF.
They're going to go forwards from the right back position for the Bulls. Gets called for the foul. One player for ECU I'd like to see more of, Kim Sanford. So Coach Hamilton would probably disagree with me, as her role is the holding midfielder. He has the ability and athleticism to go forwards. That probably is not her role tonight, to protect the back four, patrol that area in front of the defending players for ECU.
Mentioned those 16 newcomers along with the new coaching staff, but Jason Hamilton's system has allowed 5 of the returning players to set new career highs this year and find success. That's an easy way to win over some of the holdovers from the program.
The new coach, you're trying to get the buy-in from the team. Coach Hamilton has been able to do that there with those players setting records, it's very easy to keep that buy-in intact.
Her name is Evelyn Viens, from 18 yards denied by Styles. It's all or nothing when that shot comes your way. Styles has the answer, and will have minimal time to shake it off.
I think that tells you all you need to know about the power in the right leg of Evelyn Viens. That was a hand stinger.
That's her second favorite foot.
Not just for standing on. That knocked Styles backwards. Right at the goalkeeper. The positioning was good. He's still shaking that hand. Get the stinging effect away from that shot.
The result is simply in a throw for the Bulls. And now a goal kick. Pardon me, a corner kick here for USF. You see Kitching, she's been active, the sophomore from England.
I'm impressed with her tonight. Haven't been able to see her a whole lot this season, but certainly is much improved over what I saw from her last year.
And that ball lands about 12 yards out. One opportunity, the header, and Styles will smother it.
Goalkeeper is brave. Good job there, knowing that players were coming in.
Lethen, who had the lone assist that time, got the head on it. Pirates keep it away from Viens. After a hard-fought win, Memphis right now just sitting back, relaxing, tuning in from the hotel. Awaiting the winner of this one on Sunday in front of a national audience on ESPNU. We'll have a familiar voice in Glenn Davis on that call. He's seen some pretty big women's matches over the years, certainly. I know he looks forward to being in Tampa. Among the Pirates, a long run and a rare first touch from Viens that gets away from her. Couldn't settle the ball, but it'll stay with the Bulls after the foul. Get the whistle on Duran. Remember the all-rookie team this year, the freshman. And an easy call.
Very easy call. Duran is lucky she's not getting any yellow card. That was a little cynical the way she approached that challenge. Had time to pull out of the effort.
Hawksdaughter with 7 assists, the stutter. And the Bulls are back to keeping the pressure here on the Pirates to start the second half. Got to wrap up the 54th minute between these two sides. And another corner kick here for USF, already the 7th for the Bulls on their home pitch. It was a corner that helped set up the chaos. They're just best of friends, aren't they? Top of the 6, and it slipped all the way through. Almost finding the lone Bull among 4 Pirates. And Styles will be able to address this ball simply for a goal kick. I want to mention we had the men's match between USF and Memphis earlier today. USF winners in that regular season contest 2-0, followed by the women's clash between Memphis and UCF. Now ECU and USF, and yet the main attraction will be after this. You'll see some corgis all gathering on the berm to our left. They will have races here on the field after all these matches have wrapped up. Neither you nor I were chosen for the live call of that.
Not sure how I would do the analysis of it. I'm sure they'll manage the footing on the slick surface just fine.
A lot of underdogs in that race. Bulls right now defending that lone goal from the opening half. They've held this lead since the first 10 minutes. Viens will sneak inside the 18, but they'll start wide. And into the side of the netting.
Well, took a long time to develop. Runs were not very organized in the box for USF. Viens was going to the near post, never popped back out. Pitching was getting into the box. Need to make a quicker decision on the run, quicker decision whether you're going to shoot or pass.
Drajovic returns for Copley. And Tori Riggs there, the starter in the midfield tonight. Viens will do the work herself. It's on her left foot, and Hilton Pelea shuts her down and simply will concede a corner kick, about as well as you could do there.
Viens is in the attacking third, and in that mindset, there's only one thing on her mind. Can I get to goal? Can I get a shot off? I've beaten one player. I'll look up. Look at that lovely skill behind the back dribble. And just wondering if she has that half of step that she needs, the half step of opening to put the ball goalward. The two new best friends stand side by side.
Hawk's daughter. To the back post, punched out by Styles.
Great range for the goalkeeper to punch that one free with the right hand.
Officially 7 saves so far from Styles. The difference in the match, the lone ball that she couldn't stop.
Done a couple of things as well as far as getting the hand to the ball that won't go on the stat sheet. For example, that punch clearance with the right, which started the counter attack, and but for a good sliding challenge from Blevin, probably would have been a goal scoring opportunity for the Pirates.
Again, Martinez makes her 16th career start tonight. Only allowed 10 goals in her collegiate career. No interest in conceding number 11 here tonight. McGrath, your lone goal scorer. Briefly on the ball.
Frustration from Riggs there. Thought that she might have had the intercept. Number 4 for ECU needs to do a little bit better job defensively. And the double team there. Well, Vic, but the two players let USF off the hook. They switch the point of attack. It's going to be ECU that are stretched.
Bulls still maintain the opportunity here. Pirates cannot take it away. And from 17 yards down, it'll be a couple yards wide. They'll call a deflection, a corner kick coming up. And any hope for the team managers for these two teams to avoid going to the laundromat before Sunday, well, that dream was shattered in the opening minutes of this one.
And none of the equipment managers were happy when they saw the rainstorm. That was a good dribble there from Kitchen getting into the box. The left-footed shot was not a good one. A deflected pass, Styles for the corner kick.
Midway through the 60th minute. Pelea coming out to support, and they'll give it away.
I don't have a problem with the short corner there, Lincoln, but where is the run? There has to be an overlapping run made or something designed to get those two defending players out of the picture. Once the ball is played in, essentially the two USF players just stand side by side and make it very easy to defend for ECU.
Second straight match here in Tampa where Styles, here in the second half, is just trying to deny any kind of insurance goal. She was rewarded for her patience in that first match against SMU when they found the equalizer from Aaron Michelson. And the Pirates deny the Bulls a second goal and find their first to level this one. And Bulls will bump them off the ball. Thinking about Viens, it would be on her to make a long run. Instead, simply a throw here from Parker.
Wondering when Coach Hamilton makes a tactical change.
Hour complete.
The moment. Team looks in good shape. Tactically, they remain with the same lineup. You getting the opportunities going forwards. But at some point, as time is ticking away, he will have to try and find a way to get more players in the midfield, more players in the front line to put USF under some pressure. It's when do you make that decision as the coach with only a 1-0 deficit?
Bulls starting to organize inside the final half hour. And in the end, everybody a spectator as simply Styles comes up to address the ball.
And did a really good job of holding the run, staying on side, almost as if she had a sixth sense as far as knowing where the defender was behind her. In the end, the manner of her run didn't offer a good angle for the pass through the back line. The diagonal ball was easily corralled by Styles. Essentially, you want the run of the player to be diagonal. You want the ball to be played vertically up the pitch.
Peltier LaRoche will factor back in for a second time tonight. On for teammate Olivia Cook. For the Pirates, we also see Kat Gonzalez checking in. A freshman from Pocono Summit, Pennsylvania.
Good to see Peltier LaRoche come back in. She went out with rolled ankle possibly in the first half. Seems absolutely fine now, moving very smoothly on the jog.
Well, Martinez in these Bulls still all year long only concede 3 goals in the first half. They've conceded just 7 goals in the second half. Hard to say they've let down their guard this year in the second half. There have been a few more opportunities for the opposition. And USF outscoring their opponents 47-11 this year, including tonight.
I think number 10 for ECU is going to be key down the stretch. In that holding midfield role, Sanford gets the ball at her feet. She tends to play very simply, looking to release the pass, find a teammate. It's understandable. That is her role. As good as she is and the athlete that she is, it'd be great to see her just get a head of steam up and attack the midfielders a little bit of USF, try and draw a player in and then release the ball further up the pitch as Styles under pressure just boots it out of the danger area for a throw-in.
They'll regroup her defense as the Bulls fans starting to clamor for that insurance goal. They want to gain a little more confidence that they can come back on Sunday to cheer on the home side. Still in play.
Right ball played in, but where were the runs? Pitching needs to get up the pitch earlier. Viens needs to find a way to get to the penalty spot so she can attack the ball. But plenty of time to develop. There's no excuses for not organizing runs in the box there from USF.
Again, the Bulls this year against the American, 8 wins, just 1 loss. That loss came in Philadelphia in overtime when Really, they had dominated the first 90 minutes, but they gave up 2 shots, and that's really all it took for Temple to find the quick score. And it was exactly the same weekend that they found that loss against Cincinnati the year prior. They weren't sure how they were going to be able to respond to it, but they didn't mind the fact that Cincinnati was the next on their schedule. They bounced back against the Bearcats, have not dropped a match since. 7 straight wins against American foes since that early loss in conference play for the Bulls. We talk about all the success, of course, they've had here at home. All the more important to secure that home field advantage in that regular season finale against UCF, and along the way, pick up a trophy for the regular season.
Always nice to put some silverware in the cabinet. Always nice to beat your in-state rivals on Derby Day.
Now, what a rivalry that has proven to be. It'd be one thing if neither team was any good. More often than not, it's been for a title the last 2 years. That matchup has closed out the season for the rights to host. We were in Orlando last year as a result. From 18, Martinez, still wide awake, comes through.
Nicely done by the goalkeeper. This would have required a change of direction from Martinez. She would have anticipated the shot going to her left across the face of goal. Martinez, aware where the ball was traveling, gets down to her right quickly. It was a powerfully struck shot from ECU.
I believe that was from Kat Gonzalez, the freshman. It's everything behind it.
Like it might have been going wide. Martinez taking no chances. Lovely technique on the dive.
You're going to give her credit for a second save tonight.
You might as well pad your stats while you have the chance.
Viens among 4 Pirates. Not enough. Evelyn Viens, your offensive player of the year in the American, shows another touch of class.
As I was saying, you might as well pad your stats while you have your chance.
The 19th time Evelyn has sent one across the goal line this year. And that is the extent of her celebration.
The only thing not understated about Viens is her play. Gets into space, has the pace to beat the back line, the strength, the wherewithal, the vision, and the power of the right foot to put the ball past Styles. The quality of the finish speaks volumes of the quality of the player.
47 goals in her career. The old record, 42 for a Bull. And again, she's still got one more year.
Great to see if she can make it to the next level as well.
ECU has not won a match this year when they've conceded multiple goals. They'll need to do it for a first time, or at the very least force a draw and prevail once again in a shootout. The opposing keeper, Martinez, has been stingy this year, along with that back line. For good measure, Viens will win a foul.
Certainly seems a very large task facing the Pirates now. They had to play at their very best to be successful tonight. There's still time.
Evelyn leads the nation in goals per match, points per match.
You have to believe that she'll get a look in as far as the NWSL is concerned. As consistent as she is as a goal scorer, her athleticism, would be great to see her playing at the next level when the time comes. No, none of the fans here in Tampa want that time to come anytime soon.
Well, it's been a little over a week since her last match. Remember, the regular season wrapped up last weekend. She had the lone goal against UCF. Finds insurance here for the Bulls. Now the Pirates need to find multiple goals inside of 21 minutes. A chance to cut the deficit in half right here. was a Bulls team going into last year, thought they were cursed in championship matches. They were 0 for 2 each time, playing to a draw but losing in a shootout. Last year they finally exercised that demon in Orlando of all places, getting past the host UCF, claiming that automatic bid in the NCAA tournament. Memphis awaits the winner of this one on Sunday. At the moment, they have to believe that's probably the green and gold. They can afford to sit back for another 20 minutes or so. And another corner kick here for ECU.
Grateful for the mulligan. That was not a good service into the near post. It has to be better struck than that to beat the first defender.
This will take a hop about 10 yards out. ECU will send a screamer but wide, and this one will not be a third chance from that corner, simply a gold kick.
Well, the second corner service was not any better than the first, but because it was further out from goal, it turned out to be dangerous. Results in a shot that didn't trouble the goalkeeper.
Now Olivia Cook will come on up top, and she replaces Peltier LaRoche. And I know even though Cook is not an everyday starter, the vast majority of her minutes have come off the bench. They believe the freshman from Ontario has just as much upside as the starters. A valuable addition, provided the depth this year, and that's a big part of a championship program. When you don't lose much quality, when you give your starters those moments on the bench to catch their breath.
Anytime you can take minutes out of the legs, it will help you in postseason play. Peltier LaRoche going off in the first half with that knock. Coach Schulte Brown will be happy that she can put number 5 on the bench and have her get some more rest and not risk any further knocks on the ankle.
Bulls have had a chance to host in the first round, last 3 NCAA tournament appearances. We would like their chances of hosting, especially if they prevail this week here in Tampa. Continue that home field advantage. Ball spills loose, but a nice recover denying Hilton Pelea. But the Pirates will have a quality look here inside of 25 yards.
USF certainly would stand a really good chance of hosting, and well in the region of the teams that would normally be in the NCAA from Florida are not going to be in that, namely the Gators, as they lost in the semifinal of the SEC to Arkansas in overtime today. Had to win that tournament just to make it into the NCAA this year.
This will be Drajovic trying to put a little English on that ball, but it'll never break back in that far post.
See what she was trying to do, strike the ball with the outside of the right foot. But it didn't look like one of my drives. It didn't slice towards the goal.
He's one of those 6 newcomers, the transfer from North Carolina State. Went from Raleigh to Greenville.
Part of the world up there.
Pretty good college soccer in those parts. Evelyn Viens provides the lone goal in the second half to complement the go-ahead goal from Aubrey McGrath in that first half of play in the first 10 minutes. We are down to the final 17 of regulation. It just took Memphis 90 ultimately to hold off UCF. Marie Levasseur with the game winner after the 80th minute. And that means one team with the first round bye already in, Memphis. Bulls trying to also take advantage of that bye on Halloween. It's a Pirates team that played 110 minutes 2 nights ago, in addition to a shootout. I don't think many people will discount, regardless of the result tonight, what Coach Hamilton has done in year 1. If anything, he's his own worst enemy. He raised the bar so high in this first year. Imagine the expectations going into next season. I'll tell you right now, ECU will not be picked 8th.
Be amazed if that is the case. Done a fantastic job, Coach Hamilton.
Already on track for your game winner. And Styles keeps it playable with our center official keeping a watchful eye to make sure that's not a corner.
I mean, looking over at the shots right now, it's 19-9. And you look back at the game that these two had earlier in the season. USF outshot ECU 20-6 on that occasion, and I don't think that was probably as close as this match has felt at times.
Offside flag goes up. You mentioned shots is 19-9, but shots on goal is 10-2. And one of those may have been a generous statistic, in part to award the goalkeeper. Cheyenne Dennis doesn't mind that we haven't had to call her name very often tonight. The sophomore defender for the Bulls. Played just about every minute back there. And we may see our first flash of mustard. We had a referee reaching, but maybe he's just indicating there was a hold.
Demonstratively pulling at his shirt, indicating what the foul was.
I thought he was going for the pocket, but no. Just telling you what the foul was.
Bruno Mozo, the referee in charge tonight. Ryan Dennis has done a really good job. Sophomore's come on. Always been a good defender. Played so well last year, but part of her game that was lacking was that distribution side. What I've seen on display tonight, she's done a much better job of improving that side of her game. Makes her a more dangerous player, a more rounded player. Juncture with Bernie alongside her. That's a pretty good central defensive partnership. Most likely there'll be two good central defensive partnerships on display on Sunday if this score holds as we're looking at.
Yeah, of course, Gauthier was your defender of the year. She a Memphis Tiger, but her teammate even overshadowed her earlier tonight. We're talking about Chanel Hudson-Marks, who happily went up against Stephanie Sanders and was able to shut her down.
Between the two of those players, they'll be charged with in Viens off the score sheet and off the ball. Hudson-Marks certainly has the pace to do that.
Again, it's a Memphis team that for the first time ever got past the semifinals here in the American. Their first berth into the final. And it's pretty elite company, teams that have claimed a title in this tournament. Bulls were able to do it last year. All but one final has gone to a shootout. Only UConn has ever managed to claim it in the first 90 minutes. Even they had to go to a shootout in their first try in the early years. Well, right now it's cheering on the Bulls, but again, more importantly, it'll be cheering on the Pups, primarily the Corgis, in a little over 12 minutes, unless ECU can find a couple of goals here late. We know our place.
Say, thinking whether I can top your underdog comment from earlier. It's hard to hear it over the boom tish in the background from the
USF took the goal advantage into the locker room, came out, and no surprise, the headliner Evelyn Viens finds what proves to be the junior's 19th goal on this year. This is how she responds to a 12-goal campaign a year ago as a sophomore when she set the program mark for game winners with 6. Hilton Pelea just trying to find a crack in that back line.
It was a wonderful first move, but has to have composure after creating the space for herself to complete the next pass.
Bulls looking for that third goal. They've had a week to think about this match, although they did not know their opponent. Off the crossbar. So much for home pitch advantage. The woodwork working against them. But it still draws the delight of the fans who have come out to watch the Bulls play for the first time in a week.
I believe that was Wagner there with the shot. Rattled the woodwork, rides the challenge, thumps the ball, which then thumps the woodwork. Was Wagner. Goalkeeper had only enough time to leave her feet and watch it go past her.
Bulls not going away yet. We'll say farewell to the 80th minute. But the Pirates can't get rid of the Bulls. A corner kick coming up. Hawksdaughter will go assume her battle station in that corner. Seven assists this year, leading this conference along with teammate Nacello's 7 assists as well. We don't talk about Sydney Nacello much. The freshman from Land O'Lakes here in Florida. Had a hat trick earlier this year against Florida College. Even when Viens is not on the pitch, still plenty of confidence they can produce. Slips it through. And Styles a couple yards ahead of her line, able to bring it in. She was a hero back on Wednesday. And of course, it was her shutouts that helped ECU claim its best seeding ever coming into the conference tournament. Their top 4 seeds all make it to the semifinals this year. ECU did it with the draw and the shootout against SMU on Wednesday in the nightcap.
Not sure it was Wagner on that shot, you know.
Maybe an Olivia Cook.
Only want to give the right player the credit.
We'll let you consult on the contrast of numbers on the uniforms.
There is a reason why I wear spectacles to commentate on games. My eyes aren't the best, but...
That's Aubrey McGrath. She's on track for your game winner. Denise Schulte-Brown looks on with her staff. If they can survive tonight, they'll shift their focus to scouting for Memphis. You saw ECU reinserts Erin Michelson, the sophomore. She found the equalizer, but they'll need 2 here in the second half this time around. That equalizer against SMU.
Wondering when Coach Hamilton would make the tactical change. Stanford has moved into the center back role now. A change has been made. 3 in the back for ECU. Play out the remainder of this match.
ECU has not lost since October 7th. And again, that was right here against these Bulls. What a run they had. They're going to fight for the final 7+ minutes to make the most of this one. They have put it all out there, including Carson Parker on that back line, the sophomore.
A wonderful header from Wagner there, turning the head, knowing where she wanted to put the ball, understanding that she had players to her right in Dennis and Bernie to pass the ball to.
They're going to let them play out. McGrath. Bulls with 21 shots tonight, 11 on frame. Not content. I'm starting to feel like we're on Interstate 4.
Crowd wanted a foul. Referee deciding it was shoulder to shoulder and a fair challenge.
A lot of traffic.
I like the fact that Mr. Musso is letting the young women play the game.
Well, it was an evening of a couple of highly anticipated semifinals that was delayed briefly, a little under an hour. Something short of a monsoon. We literally had tornado sirens going off on campus here at USF. Lightning, not just at less than a mile, but probably just a few blocks away.
Felt like it was right behind my car when I was parked in the car park, waiting to come over to the booth.
We believe it knocked out the comms for at least our first officiating crew tonight. As we approach the final 5 minutes here, this pitch is held up well. There's that noon men's matchup. This now the second women's semifinal. So just a little under 270 minutes of quality soccer on this field. Aubrey McGrath has the go-ahead goal in this one. Evelyn Viens chiming in just to let you know she was in Tampa this week. That means the Pirates need more than just one. And even with a little more contact than is advisable, a little half smile there, the grin from the freshman Martinez.
Well, she might smile. They mentioned the Styles is not going to get credit for some of the saves and plays that she's made this game. Martinez won't get credit for that, but she skied ever so high with great range to make that collection on the cross coming in.
Well, unlike Memphis, who is running for the corners, that's just not the Bulls' way.
You were saying?
Yeah. Somebody's tuning in. As that clock just melts away, and it will be a goal kick for Styles.
And as a coach, this is what you want to see from your team, is having the maturity to manage the closing of a game, especially when you have the 2-goal advantage or any advantage.
Ashley Kendra comes on.
Want to make sure that you keep possession, pass the ball among yourselves, head for the corners, don't give the opposition any opportunity that you can help.
And now they will go interview the corner flag. Much to the dismay of the fans who were excited. Rebecca Anderson this time. Again, another goal kick.
You understand the fans' frustration. They want another goal. They want the spectacular, but they also want the victory, and part of winning the victory is managing the closing of the game and negating opportunities for the opposition.
Less than 3 minutes separate a date between the top 2 seeds in the American. Bulls and Tigers on Sunday. Appears to be your matchup here in 2018 with an automatic bid to the NCAA tournament. And of course the hardware here in the American on the line. Reminder, stick around when this clock runs out. We'll have Haley Outen down on the pitch with your finalist, whether it be the Bulls or the Pirates, to get their thoughts heading into Sunday's matchup, and of course tonight's meeting between the number 4 and the number 1 seeds.
You, with the hit and the hope, it's all too little too late for the Pirates. I didn't get to see the game last time these two teams met, but I think Coach Hamilton will be a lot more pleased with the performance from his team this time around. As you said earlier, they've left it all on the field tonight. They've put their best effort forwards. They've challenged the goalkeeper. Martinez in the first half had to make a very special save off the foot of Durant.
Well, I want to remind you, going into next year, you're going to have a much improved Cincinnati squad. You're going to have a UConn team right back in the fold. And you're going to have an ECU team now with a taste of success here in the postseason on top of these Florida schools and Memphis. What a year in 2019 it will be for this conference. Evelyn Viens not going anywhere. Most of these goalkeepers underclassmen.
And the quality of the game of soccer on both the men's and the ladies' side, professionally and in the collegiate game, continues to improve. And the American Athletic Conference is certainly part of that improvement as teams just get better and better and compete with each other.
10-10 looking to erase the clean sheet, but it's not going to happen. The countdown begins in Tampa. For a second straight year, the Bulls will be playing on the final Sunday. Last year, they came up with the answer in the shootout for the title. They'll look to go back-to-back for their third straight title. Evelyn Viens provides the icing on the cake in this one. For Viens, her 19th goal this year, but the game winner belongs to Aubrey McGrath. Her 7th goal, 4th game winner, and it has USF playing here in Tampa on Sunday for the title against Memphis in the afternoon on ESPNU.
Well, for ECU, they had to be absolutely perfect tonight to get in this game and come out with some sort of success. They weren't able to do that, but they put a really good performance out against a good USF team that are going to be difficult for Memphis to beat. But having said that, if the Tigers play against the Bulls like they played against the Knights, it's going to be a fantastic game to watch on ESPNU. It's going to be a wonderful spectacle for the fans.
For Evelyn Viens in the goal, more of the same, but heartbreak obviously for ECU. They surpassed expectations, but they still had a bigger goal ahead of them. And of course, everybody looks forward to watching the Pirates next year. But Coach Schulte Brown and company will have a chance to check in with Haley Alton, as we'll have a chance to hear from the Bulls when we come back from this break. Stay tuned. You're watching live coverage of the American Women's Soccer Championship semifinals here on the ADN.
Scores!
3 strikeouts in a row.
Dominance for a 4th straight year.
Cueto from 30!
Unbelievable. And be able to celebrate this type of championship.
There's the record breaker. They are the champions of the American.
Strong in mind, strong in body, strong in school, sport, life.
The grind is 10% physical and 90% mental.
The mind is the power.
The body is a means to jump higher, run faster,
be smarter, and live longer.
There is no weakness when it comes to seeking help.
We are stronger together.
So let's talk about it.
A waterfall starts with one drop.
Change starts with one person.
The American is dedicated to ending the stigma related to mental health
and promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
Promoting success through a healthy, powerful mind.
There's a lot to do out there. You can either talk about it or you can do something about it. At ECU, we choose to do things. And we can help you do just about anything. Come here to keep hometowns thriving, hearts beating, or make waves across the world. Wherever you're headed, this ship can get you there. With 30,000 of us doing so much, you won't find anyone sitting around. You ready?
By USF head coach Denise Schulte Brown and forward Evelyn Viens. Congratulations on this win to the both of you. Coach, we'll start with you. After having to wait all week long to get your team out here and play, what were your takeaways from tonight's performance?
You know, I think that this was a tough game, one of the toughest games. It's really hard to beat a good opponent twice, and we know that we respect ECU and we respect our opponent, and it was hard to stay focused, hard for myself to stay focused. So that was a task, getting the girls to want to win this game. And I think they did a great job. I was really proud of them, especially the way they came out. It told me that their mind was here, so that was great.
Evelyn, for you, your team outshot ECU 21-10. You were able to tack on that second goal. How much was the offense clicking tonight in the semis?
It was great. I think with 21 shots, we should have get more goal, but I think it was good to get a goal early on board and after to get a second one and then getting some rest for Sunday, and we're going to be ready Sunday to get more goal than with 21 shots.
And Coach, playing in this rain and this wet conditions and surfaces, how important was it for your defense to get a clean sheet in these conditions?
Absolutely. You know, it wasn't one of those games where you really wanted to play on your side of the field, so it didn't make for a pretty game. Wanted to play on that half of the field, but the girls did their job, and I thought they were still courageous at the ball and are courageous on the ball at times. And I feel like our team is a possession-style team, so it's not easy to adjust to that, but they did a great job.
Undefeated at Corbett Stadium this year, and now you have a chance to play the final on your home turf. Why does this team play so well, especially at home?
I need to shout out the fans that come. The goalmouth are amazing. Our family are in the stand, so I think in being at home, our locker room, our facilities is great, and Corbett is one of the great fields in the country.
Get to take on Memphis Sunday, a team that you've met earlier this season, but it's the 1 seed and the 2 seed, both battling for this title. What would it mean for your program to win a title in back-to-back seasons?
I'll tell you, we don't like going to Memphis. Now they got to stay here. So, you know, I feel really good about it. Obviously, we're excited to play Memphis in the final. And I think it is different when they play here. It's tougher when they play here, and I think they know it, and they'll be ready for us, and we'll be ready for them.
Thanks to both of you. Good luck Sunday. We'll see you out here for the final. And thanks to all of you for tuning in at home. On behalf of Lincoln Rose and Matt Stubbington, I'm Haley Outen. We'll see you back here Sunday at 2 p.m. Eastern at Corbett Stadium. Have a great rest of your night.